What if I told you that you could start building wealth with less money than you spend on your morning coffee, and that by the end of this video, you might never look at $5 the same way again? I gave myself one rule: invest just $5 a day, every single day, for 30 days straight. No fancy tricks, no big wins, no shortcuts. Just $5. Every single day. What happened next completely changed the way I think about money, and by the end of this video, it might just change the way you do too. But before we get to the results, let me take you back to day one. Because that's where the real story begins. And trust me, you'll want to stay for the ending. I used to think investing was something only rich people did. You know, people with suits, briefcases, and six-figure salaries. Not someone like me, someone who looks at a menu and checks the price before choosing what to eat. But then I stumbled on this idea: if I can spend $5 on fast food, soda, or subscriptions I forget to cancel, why can't I invest that same $5 into my future? That thought hit me hard. So I decided to stop waiting and start doing. And not in some extreme, overnight millionaire kind of way. In a real, simple, sustainable way. $5 a day. That's it. To keep myself accountable, I chose a basic investing app with automatic daily deposits. No stress, no friction. Just set it and forget it. But even though the system was easy, I quickly realized the challenge wasn't technical. It was psychological. Every time I invested, a small voice in my head whispered, "This isn't enough. What difference can $5 make?" That voice got louder on tough days. But I silenced it by remembering one powerful idea: compound interest doesn't care how small you start, it only cares that you do start. And with that mindset, I pressed forward. The first week felt smooth. I barely noticed the money leaving my account. I mean, $5 a day? That's skipping one snack, one Uber ride, or one impulse scroll on Amazon. But what I did notice was a change in how I thought. Suddenly, I was reading more about finance. I started asking questions. What's a dividend? How does the S&P 500 work? Should I be investing in ETFs instead of individual stocks? That's when it hit me: I wasn't just building a portfolio, I was building a new identity. I wasn't just someone who spends. I was becoming someone who invests. But then came week 2. The market dipped. I logged in one morning, and my portfolio was down. I freaked out. I thought, am I losing money? Is this even working? And that's where most people give up. They expect investing to feel like winning the lottery. But here's the truth they don't tell you: real investing feels boring, uncertain, even scary. Especially at the start. That's when I learned one of the most valuable lessons of the whole challenge: wealth isn't built in excitement. It's built in boredom. It's built in patience. In discipline. In showing up when you don't feel like it. By day 15, something strange started happening. I was getting excited to invest. Not because I expected big returns, but because I felt in control. And that feeling? It's addictive. I found myself skipping junk food, canceling subscriptions I didn't need, and thinking, this $12 Netflix payment. That's 2 days of investing. I started seeing everything I spent in terms of opportunity cost. Every dollar I wasted was a dollar I could have put to work. That's when I realized, this wasn't just about growing my account. It was about rewiring my brain. And it was working. Around day 20, I started teaching my younger cousin how to invest. She's 17. Never touched the stock market. But when I told her I was building a future with just $5 a day, she said, "That's it. And that's the beauty of it. That's the hook." Because when you show people that wealth isn't about how much you start with, but about how often you show up, their eyes light up. And trust me, nothing feels better than watching someone else get inspired by the changes you've made in yourself. That moment with her made every day of this challenge worth it. Let's pause for a second. You've made it halfway through this video, and that already puts you ahead of most people who never think twice about their money. But I want to give you something that stuck with me throughout this challenge: the habit is more valuable than the amount. Read that again. You can always invest more later. But if you build the habit now, even if it's with pennies, you're laying the groundwork for a financial future that most people only dream of. This challenge wasn't about $5. It was about who I was becoming every time I hit invest. When day 25 rolled around, I had a routine. Wake up, check the market, watch a finance video, and make my daily investment. It became second nature. Like brushing my teeth. And that's the goal, right? We don't want money to be a stressor, we want it to be part of a system that works in the background. And speaking of systems, I started noticing dividends trickling in. Tiny at first, 11 cents here, 19 cents there. But those cents weren't just numbers. They were proof. My money was starting to work for me. And that's when I realized, even slow growth is still growth. On day 30, I opened my investing app, Heart Racing. My total? $154.13. I had put in $150 total. That means I gained just over $4 in a month, a return of around 2.7%. Not life-changing, but completely eye-opening. Why? Because that was $4 I didn't work for. That was my money growing on its own. That's passive income. And if I could make $4 in 30 days with $5 a day, what could I make in 365 days? Or 5 years? That's when the real magic of compounding hit me. And suddenly, I wasn't thinking about this challenge anymore. I was thinking about my future. So here's what I calculated. If I keep investing $5 a day for 1 year, I'll have invested $1,825. With average returns of 7% annually, in 10 years that grows to about $2,540. But if I keep going, let's say 20 years, we're talking over $8,000. From just $5 a day. And if I double that to $10 a day, we're looking at over $16,000. That's the power of consistency. And no, these numbers aren't magic. They're math. They're what happens when time and discipline do their job, while you sleep. So what did I actually invest in? I kept it beginner-friendly. Mostly VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. And SCHD, which focuses on high-dividend companies. These funds are low-cost, diversified, and historically reliable. No hype, no gambling. Just slow, steady growth. And if you're brand new to investing, here's my advice: start with ETFs. Forget stock picking. Forget crypto, at least for now. Build your foundation. Then explore. But don't chase big wins on day one. Build consistency first. Now, I want to challenge you. Not with a like or a comment, although that helps, but with action. Try this for yourself. Pick an app, set $5 a day, and just start. You don't even have to tell anyone. Just make that commitment to yourself. Because if $5 can shift my mindset, grow my confidence, and reshape my future, imagine what it can do for you. And in 30 days, come back to this video and tell me what happened. I'll be here, cheering you on.